you are very evil, because the dark web is one of the most horrible places I've ever been in my entire life. Yo, I seen somebody eat a baby, dog. I seen all type of crap, dog. You don't understand. Let me tell you how I went to it. Let me tell you what happened, right? So I tell you the story how I first got on the deep web, right? Anywho, so you got to think, one thing leads to another, another leads to other. So I'm on the deep web. I'm like, yo, you know what? This shit is fucking crazy. The crazy shit about all this shit is really understanding, right? Understanding that there's like, because like the thing about most people when they look for stuff, they're targeted searching, right? They target search. Like, so I was on there and I was looking for the silencers specifically. But I'm like, yo, if you got this type of stuff on there, what else do they sell on there? You feel me? Like, so nigga, I'm like, nigga, I get back on there, right? I'm like, you know what? I'm about to see if they sell like limitless pills and shit like that, nigga. I'm searching all type of shit. You feel me? I'm searching all type of shit. So remind you, I'm looking for like a fucking drug that can enhance your brain. Like, this is what I'm looking for the whole time. So boom, I find a site. It goes 1 Bitcoin to enter. Boom, I enter the site. It was the worst decision I ever made in my life. It was the worst decision I ever made in my life, ever. I get to the site, there's a baby strapped to the chair. A young baby, maybe like 8, 9 months, baby. Random dude comes with like, you know when there's like a fucking outbreak and they got on the outbreak clothes with the little all white, the yellow gloves and the little mask, like the dude has an outbreak. Boom. He walks up, the baby's in a chair screaming out the top of his lungs. But mind you, I never seen no shit like this in my life, so I'm like glued to the screen, like, what the fuck? So the dude comes, dog, he gets like a little tube or something. He gets a syringe, squeezes the stuff, and then drops the juice on the baby face, dog. The baby face melted back. The nigga dropped sulfuric acid on top of the baby face, and the baby face melted back, dog. Now, that wasn't what bothered me the most, right? What bothered me the most about that scenario was seeing that there was over 1 million something people watching this shit. That's what bothered me more than the whole scenario. There was 1 million people watching, like it was like 1 million something people watching this shit. People was commenting, oh my God, that was radical. Can you put acid on the feet next time? People were commenting. How y'all commenting right now with suggestions? People were commenting, making comments like what to do next, what type of style they should do next, what type of acid they should use next. I was sitting there looking at this shit like, what the fuck world am I in? Wait, what? So this is what you gotta understand, right? On the deep web and the dark web, you know the movies like Hostel, the movies like Saw, the movies like Human Centipede, the movies like all of that shit. That's what's on there. Hostel, Human Centipede, Saw, all of that shit is on there. You know what we are? We are food. You know how much people are seen for sale on the deep web? You know how much body parts, you know how much, dog. I realized this shit. You got black people out here protesting for equal rights, right? I want equal rights. I want justice. What are you talking about? There's no such thing as equal rights and equal justice versus a natural predator.
Shalom, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Call Hello Yahweh by Shemel Shai, by Shem Dash, and of honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught me this truth, and much respect to the Akim out there laboring in his work, and also to the believers scattered across the four corners of the earth, the hopeful elect in the USA. Shalom. The depths of wickedness goes deep, man. The rabbit hole of wickedness goes very deep, and the majority of people, the average people of the world, have no idea, no clue. Neither can they even understand or fathom that something like this could be going on behind the scenes. All right, unless they just happen to stumble across it and see it for themselves, like this guy in the opening clip, who was pretty much introduced to a whole new world. All right, this guy took a trip to the dark side of wickedness and found out a whole new level of wickedness. And this is pretty much the mindset of the masses who are in the dark about what's really going on. With these Edomites and these top government and these top powers and top government officials who run this earth, man. So, we have been revealed to all this stuff, and this is why part of the reason, this is part of the reason why we're crying out to Yahweh by Shemel Shai to take wickedness out of the earth, man, because shit is crazy out here, man. Shit is crazy out here in Babylon the Great and these surrounding countries. So a big problem in the earth is child sacrifice. 800,000 children missing in the U.S. each year, man. You can bet the majority of these are jakes. Okay, so that's about 2,000 a day that go missing. Pedo epidemic sweeping the globe, and ain't nobody talking about it. And why is that? Why is it not on the mainstream media? Well, it's simply because the people that are set up on TV, your governments, your presidents, your politicians, your news broadcasters, well, they're in on it. All right, you don't get into a high position within this political system, all right, or within this man's NWO without committing some kind of sacrifice, for power and money. You see, and so your movie stars, your pop stars, your actors, these people are all in on it. The bigger they get, the more they sacrifice. So it says 800,000 children a year in the United States go missing, with many of them falling into the hands of predators who traffic the children through pedo networks, where the children suffer unimaginable horrors such as satanic ritual abuse, man. Unimaginable horrors. And, the same ones that you see on TV smiling, talking sweet, behind the scenes, they're killing babies and they're eating. They're drinking their blood. They're torturing. They're cutting off the limbs, They're peeling off the face. They're raping the little babies to death. They're doing all this stuff, man. And people would never know. They would never know, man, or even think that something like that could be going on. This number is comprised of documented cases of children gone missing and does not include children who are born and bred into pedo networks and have no birth certificates. It also does not include undocumented immigrant children who are trafficked across the border. All right, immigrant children who are trafficked across the border. Now, recently, you had this guy Biden who was secretly, flying in immigrants. Fox News, this is from October 18th. It says midnight runs. Biden secretly flying underage minors into New York in the dead of night. So why the hell is this man flying in immigrants or migrants, into New York in the dead of night? I think it was like around 1 a.m., Why the hell was he flying them out? There's no telling. And the scriptures say, let's get it real quick. Ephesians 5 verse 12 in NLT. It says, it is shameful even to talk about the things that ungodly people do in secret, man. Like I was just saying before, of how they torture these little babies. They drench the blood. They drink the blood. They peel out the face, cut out the limbs. You know, they parade around with the baby's face on, or little girl face on, or whoever it may be, and they have ceremonies, they have rituals, and they do this for power and for pleasure. 13, but the evil intentions will be exposed when the light shines on them. So right now, the deeds of the wicked are being exposed, and what we're seeing right now is something that has not, it wasn't known that they were doing this type of wickedness behind the scenes, but now all this stuff has come out. All right. Worldwide, the number is close to 8 million children missing and being trafficked by intentional pet rings. All right, let's skip on down. It says, in fact, the child trafficking network today is actually facilitated by the rich and powerful, you see, whose influence reaches into the political and judicial branches of society. All right. Just to show you, how deep the rabbit hole goes, because your government officials, people that Jake look up to on TV, are the ones that are committing these acts. All right. Let's see. There's a piece of this. This guy was going in right here, all right, exposing this shit, and he said something that was rather sickening of what they doing to children. Let me see. We'll just start right here. It says, first, there appears to be a deliberate campaign by the elite to infect local, state, province, and national police, prosecutors, and judges. Right? They control them all. It says, with a taste of sexuality. So, in order for you to be in these top positions, within these sections, all right, you got to participate in this pedo shit. It is used as both an initiation right into the deep state and shadow government, and as a basis for blackmail, right? Because if you cross them, then they got some on you. Worse, we are now seeing two terrible trends, one toward abusing and murdering children before they learn to speak, they cannot bear witness, and the other perhaps brought back by U.S. forces from Afghanistan. And get this, the combination of war dogs and toddlers in a devastating combination of child rape and bestiality. Dogs raping children for videos to be sold. So you actually got people, buying videos of little children being raped by trained dogs, man. And this is about as low as it get, man. That's about as low as it gets. And you heard the guy in the opening clip said something about the video that he watched. It was like 1 million views on there, 1 million viewers, and they were cheering that shit on. Okay, so this is the sick and twisted world that we live in, and that's pretty much it on that. I won't gonna make this too long, but you see what's going on, all right? And this is why Yahweh Shai has to come back and take this man out of power, because we have been exposed into the level of wickedness that these people are doing within this earth, and there's nothing new. Matter of fact, when you go to Wisdom of Solomon 12th chapter, before we were going into the Holy Land, as we were delivered from Egypt, you had these Canaanites in the land of Canaan or Israel doing those same acts. So Wisdom of Solomon 12 verse 3, for it was thy will to destroy by the hands of our father those old inhabitants of the Holy Land, right? Whom thou hatest for doing the most odious works of witchcraft. Odious goes into repulsive works of witchcraft and wicked sacrifices, and also those merciless murderers of children and devourers of man's flesh, and the feasts of blood. They're doing all that stuff, man. And they done took it to a whole new level. It says, with their priests out of the midst of their idolatrous crew, and the parents that killed with their own hands souls destitute of help, man. That the land was thou esteemed above all other might receive a worthy colony of God's children. And they're doing the same acts right now in the Holy Land, all right? And they're doing it all across the globe, but this is what was going on before we went into the Holy Land. You had these Canaanites who were committing these types of acts, and Esau and picked up the same trait and has pushed it within this industry, within this NWO. Pretty much you got to be a part of the pedophile, the gay agenda, all to be a part of this man's system. They're going full Satanism. This white sea niggas with dresses on, Kid Cudi, lipstick, eyeshadow, people coming out wearing wedding dresses and stuff, man. That's because they're going full Satanism, all right? They're taking rituals to the fullest extent. So this is why Yahushua is going to come back and destroy the wicked. All right. Esau has to be taken out of earth. Let's see. Psalm 52:5. All right. It says, the Most High shall likewise destroy thee forever. He shall take thee away and pluck thee out of thy dwelling place and root thee out of the land of the living. The righteous also shall see and fear and shall laugh at him. Lo, this is the man that made not the Most High's strength, but trusted in the abundance of his riches and strengthened himself in his wickedness. Right? They strengthen themselves in the wickedness of their the rituals, just like you see them, promoting this gay agenda and all this perverseness, the satanic rituals. This man is trying to strengthen himself by doing that. Matter of fact, let's go to Isaiah 47 real quick. Isaiah 47:12. Stand out with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be, thou shalt be able to profit. If so be, thou mayest prevail. Okay, because this is what they trust in: wickedness, sorceries, Satanism. Okay, sacrifices. So this is why Yahushua is going to come back and destroy the wicked. So with that, Lord willing, you edify till next time. I say shalom.